This father was about to pass away. He had just been diagnosed with late-stage cancer and had less than 3 months left, so he decided to find an adoptive family for his son. The first family he found was a couple who looked decent and kind. They dressed neatly and smiled warmly. Because she didn't want to go through childbirth, the woman wanted to adopt his child. While they were talking, the boy became interested in a toy on the table. The man noticed it and offered to give the toy to the boy. This made the father feel the family was trustworthy. But just as they were about to say goodbye, the woman gave her husband a look, telling him to take the toy back from the boy. The father's heart sank immediately. All the goodwill he had felt disappeared at once. He would never hand his child to a family like that. He walked out of the house with his son, feeling nothing but deep bitterness. But he still didn't give up. The next day, he found a second family. They lived in a luxurious estate, with a garden trimmed neatly and beautifully. The couple were gentle and polite. They promised to send the boy to the best schools, and promised to give him the best life. Hearing this, the father started to waver. Maybe such a wealthy family could give his son a real future. But then the man suddenly said that the boy would grow up with their own kids. That one sentence shattered all his hope. They had their own children after all. Thinking his son might be treated differently someday, he couldn't risk his son's future. In the end, he shook his head and walked away from the luxurious estate. Then he visited a third family. This home wasn't big and was even a bit shabby. The furniture looked old and worn, but the woman gave the boy a piece of candy and let him put it into his toy car to play. In that moment, the boy's eyes lit up. The father felt a sharp ache in his heart, but this family was clearly not wealthy, which threw him into hesitation again. He didn't want his son to suffer, so he had no choice but to turn them down. But time was running out fast. His body felt completely drained. Every step he took made him sway in pain. He couldn't sleep at night because of the pain. In despair, he made one last attempt. He decided to look for the boy's birth mother, but the staff rejected him immediately, saying the woman had abandoned the child before and might abandon him again in the future. She wasn't fit to be a mother. Hearing this, the father completely broke down. When he returned home, his son talked about the toy car and the candy. Only then did he realize the boy hadn't forgotten the woman who gave him the candy. Suddenly, he understood something. There was no such thing as a perfect family, but the woman who gave the candy had eyes full of sincerity. She truly wanted to be the boy's mother, so the father made his decision. The next day, he brought his son to the small house and rang the doorbell again. This would be the boy's new home, but facing the warm and welcoming woman, Mike didn't greet her politely this time. He simply looked up quietly, his eyes fixed on his exhausted father. Through the father's recent actions, the smart boy had already understood everything.